Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the News 8 Live Desk. Hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Friday marks the return of the 4th annual Confluence Festival, and there is so much going on this weekend for it that it can be a bit overwhelming if you're just looking at the schedule, but thankfully we're here to break it all down for you. Our guest today is the Executive Director of Confluence, Mr. Brian Cohen. Brian, thank you so much for stopping by again. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again as well, Phil.
All right, absolutely. And you guys are a huge event in Grand Rapids. People look forward to it every single year here across in Grand Rapids and West Michigan. But you guys are still relatively young, this being only the 4th time you guys have held the festival. So maybe there are a few people that don't know too much about Confluence. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to let them know in your own words, what is Confluence? What are some of the things people can maybe kind of associate or assume about this festival when it comes this Friday?
Yeah, absolutely. So Confluence is a multifaceted festival, and we look at innovation within the realms of art, music, science, and technology. And more specifically, what happens when innovation in one of those areas overlaps with the other, what sort of positive things can result from that. So we have a lot of terrific programming that reinforces that idea. We've got a robotics expo where we have middle and high school teams come out to show what they're doing in the worlds of engineering and computer science. And of course, they bring their machines to run obstacle courses on the ground. We've got an esports expo, the largest in the Midwest. Well, I should say the largest in West Michigan, but also the only outdoor esports event in the Midwest. So it's a really special event that we produce every year. We're increasing the number of teams this year. We've got 16 competing, coming from Chicago, coming from Detroit, coming from all over. So that's a really exciting part of the festival. We have our Maker Expo, where folks who are doing things in the DIY community can come out and talk about what they're doing and show off what they're creating. And then, of course, we have our Future Innovator Zone, which is a special area to my heart because I have kids. And this is where we produce almost it's a festival within a festival, where we have program partners like Frederick Meyer Gardens and GVSU, AirZoo come out and create programming, all sorts of STEAM programming to really get kids engaged and get their imaginations going.
And I know a lot of people are always really excited about the esports competition and the robotics competitions that are going on, but there's a lot more that is all about Confluence, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But Brian, I did want to touch back on the fact that you guys are in that 4th year. I mean, how does it feel to be coming back for a 4th year? When you guys first started this festival, did you think that you would reach kind of the heights that you guys are at now?
Well, you always hope. You want to start with a solid idea, a solid team, a solid amount of support in the community, and that will get you to those later years. For me, the year 3 was the big one in the event world. That's sort of the make or break year. But we had a terrific event last year, so we're really excited to come back this year, even bigger, expanding on a lot of the programming, and also introducing new programs like Friday at which I hope we'll be able to get to. Confluence is all about innovation, so we want to constantly be innovating ourselves. So every year we bring something new, exciting that people haven't seen in previous years.
And one thing about Confluence that I think is probably one of the coolest parts about it is the fact that it is coming at the heels at the end of Tech Week here in Grand Rapids and also in the middle of Art Prize here in Grand Rapids. Super big events all happening at the same time, and some people might think that that could be a bad thing for one of the events or the other, but really it does kind of help everybody out. You've got people coming for Confluence that now get to check out some things from Art Prize. You have people that are coming from Art Prize, check out some of the things you guys are doing at Confluence. I mean, talk about the ability to have these big events all at the same time and how helpful it is for you guys over at Confluence to have that.
Yeah, I think it's helpful for everyone. It's helpful for the community. It's helpful for us event producers because I think none of us are trying to do what the other is doing. So there's no competition in terms of programming. Each of these events are distinct, they're independent, but they're additive in terms of what they bring to the community. So Confluence is the capstone experience for Tech Week. So we are officially part of that event. And while we're completely independent of Art Prize, like you said, we feed people to their event, they feed people to ours. So it's a really nice collaboration, and it really elevates the community and produces a critical mass of stuff. When you're in a smaller market like Grand Rapids and you're competing with events that are happening in Chicago, Indianapolis, Detroit, and elsewhere, you almost need to come together to create that critical mass of stuff, so that there's just a lot going on. There's lots of ways to plug in whatever your interest is. So we're really excited to be part of that, one of those tentpole events that happen in September.
Absolutely, and I know that there's going to be a lot going on over the 2 days of Confluence this year, as you touched on quite a bit of them that I know some people are really excited about. But outside of maybe checking out an esports competition or cheering for one of the robotics teams, what do you really hope people kind of take away from Confluence this year, or really take home with them as far as something that they can apply to maybe another part of their lives, or maybe something that they can always look back on and think about fondly? What do you really hope that people take home from this?
Well, I hope that people just get inspired. We create a lot of opportunity for people to express their creativity, and I think that's something that sticks with you a long time, if not forever. So as people navigate the different programs that we have, the different activities, and find their way to plug in, I really hope and really expect, again, because we have so many different things, that people are going to find their outlet for creativity, and it's going to spark, their interest, their imaginations, their desire to dig deeper into it. Whether you're talking about music, art, science, or technology, again, our 4 pillars. There's just a lot of things happening and a lot of different ways to plug in. So I think that's really the big thing. And then I would say the second thing is to really showcase what's happening right in our own backyard in terms of innovation and technology, because a lot of things are happening, but they might happen behind closed doors, inside of office towers. So Confluence is a platform to bring all of that stuff down to the ground so that people can really see it, engage with it. A lot of our things are hands-on activities, so people can really get their hands around it, and explore and be exposed to opportunities that are right here in West Michigan. When you graduate, you don't necessarily have to bail to the coast. There's lots of incredible things happening right here. So we want to, again, be that platform to encourage people to understand the opportunities and hopefully stick around and take advantage of them.
All right, Brian. Well, I've got one last request for you. As somebody who probably knows Confluence better than anybody else, you're the perfect person to ask this last request for. For people that are maybe on the fence, maybe they don't know if this is something that they'd be interested in, or maybe something they don't know if they're going to have time to head on out to, what would you tell them to make sure that they are down at Confluence either Friday or Saturday for all the awesome stuff you guys have planned?
Yeah, I would say Friday if you want to experience something really different. So like I said, we bring something new to the table every year, and the Friday night opening party is the new thing that we're bringing this year. So it's all about music, but it's also about showcasing the arts and culture in West Michigan that are being influenced by tech. So we have AI inspired art, we have fashion, we have music, as I mentioned. And then all the stuff that accompanies parties like this, food trucks, specialty cocktails, things like that. But I think Friday which begins at 6 p.m. This Friday, is really an opportunity to understand not necessarily how tech is engaging with the industrial community, but how it's engaging with the arts and culture community, which is a really interesting facet of what's happening here. And Friday will be the opportunity to really to dig deeper into that.
All right, fantastic stuff. Couldn't have said it better myself. Brian, thank you so much for stopping by again. It was great seeing you. I do want to remind everybody watching that if you would like to know